Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Today is Juneteenth, the newest federal holiday. The holiday symbolizes the transition from slavery in the United States to freedom. The date itself marks the fall of Confederate Texas 2 years after Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. 250,000 enslaved people were freed from Galveston. A Union general took command of the District of Texas and posted an order to free the enslaved individuals. Celebrations happened nationwide today to bring in the Day of Freedom. The results are in for the Cardboard Boat Regatta. Our Maggie Hall has the results, interviews with boat captains, and a look at the competitors this year.
I'm here at the annual Cardboard Boat Regatta at the Watkins Glen Waterfront Festival, and as you can see behind me, boats and people are anxiously waiting for the regatta to start. The fastest time for a single crew was awarded to Aqua Voyager. Its captain Israel was confident in his ability to win fastest time before the race even began.
I think I'm going to win the speed race. My favorite part, to see the other boats, to see the different design. That's very beautiful, very creative.
The boat with the fastest overall elapsed time is dedicated to first responders.
The name of the boat is First to the Fight. It's actually dedicated to all first responders. We, with our company, we actually build fire trucks and everything, take care of a lot of first responder vehicles, so something I could give back.
Now, let's hear from some other team captains.
I really love this place because it's so beautiful to have fun with the other boats and just make a boat in general.
Well, there's no in between for our boat. It's either going to float or it's going to sink. It's the way we made it. We put on a lot of duct tape, and it's pretty heavy. It's probably around 50 pounds. So there's no in between for us.
Yeah. We haven't raced yet. I'm hoping that's my favorite part. So far, the favorite part was kind of like the building process and overcoming the challenges we went through as a team. And if something didn't quite fit, what do we do?
This is just a glimpse into our coverage of the Cardboard Boat Regatta in Watkins Glen. We will be airing the full broadcast of it, race and all, in the upcoming weeks. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Watkins Glen.
One person is in critical but stable condition after a stabbing in Ithaca. Ithaca police are now looking for more evidence in this stabbing case. A victim was found in the area of Cecil A. Malone Drive around 2:15 this morning. According to the responding officers, the victim was unconscious and suffered a stab wound to the leg. Police have 5 suspects in the ongoing investigation. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact Ithaca Police. The Corning Rugby Club brought home the Under-19 2023 Rugby New York Girls State Championships. It's the first state title win for the club. Corning defeated Orchard Park 22-20 at Tim Russert Park in Buffalo, New York. On Frankly Speaking, Franca Combs spoke with 3 of the graduating seniors from the team to find out what this historic win meant for them.
To have another shot at Orchard Park this year in the state final and then win, there was just no feeling like it. I dropped to the ground when we won. I was it was just the best feeling in the world. It was so relieving and just a huge win for me and for everybody who came before me to see that, I think.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken finally sat down in Beijing with Chinese leader Xi Jinping in a high-stakes meeting meant to reset relations after the dust-up over the Chinese spy balloon. Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Good afternoon.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Chinese leader Xi Jinping trying to bridge the gap between the two countries in the face of steep challenges.
I hope that through this visit, Mr. Secretary, you will make more positive contributions to stabilizing China-U.S. relations.
The wide-ranging talks address the global flow of synthetic drugs, human rights violations in China, and the war in Ukraine. Blinken says they have not seen evidence of China providing weapons to Russia, but they're still worried.
What we do have ongoing concerns about, though, are Chinese firms, companies, that may be providing technology that Russia can use to advance its aggression in Ukraine.
Relations between Washington and Beijing hit a new low earlier this year after the military shot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon flying over the U.S. The U.S. hopes Monday's high-stakes talks stem the downward spiral.
We have made progress, and we are moving forward. But again, I want to emphasize, none of this gets resolved with one visit, one trip.
But several Republican leaders are skeptical of China's intentions.
And we need them to take off the golden blindfolds and to accurately assess the risks of continuing to do business with a genocidal regime that could provoke a war at any second.
Blinken acknowledges the two sides weren't able to agree on one key issue, reopening direct military channels of communication, which he says the U.S. will keep working on. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
President Biden back on the campaign trail today after holding his first big re-election rally over the weekend. And as Doug Luzader reports, he's about to begin an intense fundraising campaign.
Well, after what appeared to be something of a slow start, the Biden campaign now has some 20 fundraisers scheduled over the next 2 weeks as the president lays the groundwork for a second term.
Hello, Philadelphia!
President Biden in Philadelphia on Saturday. This was really the first rally of his 2024 campaign after winning a major union endorsement.
I'm proud to be the most pro-union president in American history.
But the Biden campaign has two big concerns: the possibility of a third-party candidate entering the race, like West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, and a primary calendar that is still in flux. Biden wants to reorder the state contest to allow South Carolina to go first, giving himself a big advantage over other Democrats. But traditional early states like Iowa and New Hampshire do not want to play along.
The problem is, again, with these other two states, is there's not a lot of enthusiasm for the president's re-election campaign right now. And the last thing you want to do is have him bloodied going into a general election.
Well, hello, Nevada!
Republicans have some issues of their own, including a debate requirement from the party that they each pledge to support the eventual nominee. A number of candidates from former President Trump on down may have issues with that. A former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie remembers a similar pledge during a debate in 2016.
There were 10 of us on the stage. 9 of us raised our hands. The one who didn't was Donald Trump. And so I'll take the pledge in 2024 just as seriously as Donald Trump took the pledge in 2016.
And that's going to be a critical question with the first Republican debate now just about 2 months away. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Your complete workweek forecast is still ahead. Plus this.
Dangerous heat putting millions of lives at risk. I'm Kevin Cork with a look at what scientists say is driving temperatures sky high. That's coming right up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening and happy Monday. We were dealing with a very wet weather week last week where we're even seeing that precipitation from adding Wednesday and Friday together get us over an inch of precipitation. And note that both Wednesday and Friday, that precipitation wasn't put into our drought index that was updated late last week, where we were seeing that more areas were added to that abnormally dry, and we're seeing that even moderate drought conditions are running up through the local area. So those soils are still extremely dry. So one will see if that addition of another inch will help to keep things at least steady, because we are working in a few drier days, but we do have more moisture ahead. We'll have to keep an eye on it being drought ending. We still need some definitely big numbers to totally eliminate these conditions, but something that we will be watching. However, what we did see is that we did turn the weekend to some drier conditions. Even throughout our Monday, we were able to see some sunshine, but there were a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. As what we're seeing is we're just on the fringe of a low pressure system. Right now, we have a blocking weather pattern setting up. Now, this is a look at the upper atmosphere, and what there's high across the Great Lakes and a low across the southeastern states. There is one of those at the surface as well. Now, what's going to happen through the middle of this week is that the upper air pattern is going to keep what is happening at the surface pretty steady. And what we're seeing is that that surface low pressure system is working its way into into the Ohio River Valley, which is just close enough to bring some influence to the local area. But generally, we are going to talk about more drier conditions due to our proximity being closer to that high in the upper atmosphere as well. So we'll talk still seeing some sunshine around in some drier times, but we're also seeing that we're on the fringe. So rolling through forecasts, which here, this starts at midnight or just after midnight, we're seeing a few of those showers and thunderstorms around. And we'll see that there's still some areas of sunshine. We're just hanging on to some of those partly cloudy skies, but again into our Tuesday afternoon, we're seeing a few of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Slow moving, so they can bring a nice brief downpour and can include some lightning and thunder risk. So do keep yourself weather aware. However, widespread severe risk does remain extremely low. And when we look at general accumulation across the area, it is pretty isolated. In some of those little high reflectivity spots, you might get up to that 1/10 of an inch or maybe even 1/4 of an inch with a slow moving storm, but not everyone's going to walk away with that. You're really going to be lucky if you see a storm move on through. So we're not going to see a really consistent pattern because, again, we have that high pressure system giving us a little bit more influence, which does allow for some sunnier times around and near seasonal temperatures. So we'll have that pop-up thunderstorm risk on Tuesday. That low is actually going to pull closer back to the Gulf for a few days, which does allow for us to have a few quieter days with some sunshine in mid-80s, but then that low and that blocking pattern will break away, which allows for those storm chances to return.